There's been a motion to approve the minutes as written. Is there a second?
Madam President,
Delegate recognized.
second motion.
Can you please state your name?
I'm sorry, Dee Herrera, Eastwood College. Second motion.
Thank you. There's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. Is there any debate? Are you ready for the question?
Yes.
And I just look forward to seeing everything else that you have to do the remainder of the semester. So just keep your heads up and keep trucking along. And I give you the back to Madam President.
Thank you. I have nothing to report, so we will be moving on to old business. Again, we can move straight to new business. We have nothing to report there, so we'll go to committee reports. At this time, though, I yield the floor to parliamentarian Jesus.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Madison and Dean Administrators, I am your host, your moderator for today's discussion on leadership. I would like to hear from the Young American Voters Leadership Summit 2014. You all have been having some great engaging discussion on today, so I look forward to even more to come from this esteemed panel we have here on today. So first I want to say hello, good afternoon, and I want to introduce our panelists for this afternoon. First, we have a GK Edward Popak, who is an entrepreneur and a state advisor. We also have on the panel Dr. Hosea Neves, who is the president of Yale Central College, appointed by the Board of Trustees on September 1st, 2014. He has been the vice president for academic affairs, also a VP and interim president as well. So he is well-educated and holds a doctorate degree and is a great leader within our education system. We have Dr. Endowments. Also, we have Rwanda Barton, who is here in the place of the Honorable Royce West, adjunct to the funeral of a great leader of our city on today. So, in his day, we have a wonderful person here who is the chief of staff in the office of Royce West for 21 plus years, and a Dallas native as well, holds high honors, graduate from FD Roosevelt High School. Also holds a BA degree in journalism and public relations from UT Austin, and also has worked towards her master's degree, and also as an author, and currently a mentor for the Dr. Everett J. Conner Leadership Program, a 21-year-old internship program that has placed more than 2,000 students since District 23 with paying jobs since 1993. Also, we have Robin Hutchinson Gordon, President and CEO of the Cannon Academy Education Foundation. And that's the education foundation of Texas Cannon Academies. Texas Cannon Academy is an open enrollment charter high school focused on dropout recovery and students with learning difficulties. The foundation is charged with raising a $20 million endowment to build a center of cognitive and mediated learning solution, which will service all teachers and students dealing with learning difficulties. And we have Stephen Richardson, founder and organizer for Dallas Black Professionals, who has a 2,600 members, born since 2010, here to support the community in areas of professional, financial, and personal growth. They are the foremost active professional organization in that they host 10 to 15 events per month on average. Additionally, we have also some wonderful leaders here as well. Serena Moss, the TGC SGA Region 2 President, who is here as well. And also we have Chris Lunia, leadership of Yale Central College. And we also have, of course, a wonderful athlete in the person of George Silver, with the Cowboys, defensive end, number 99. Let's give our representatives a hand for being here on today. So proceeding from my left to my right, I'm going to let each person person give a brief introduction along with their mantra on leadership and how it impacts life and business today.
Everyone. My name is Chris Wynn. Thank you, sir, for that kind introduction. I am a leadership coordinator at El Central College. I've been in various leadership roles, and most of you here are in SGA, student government, and I've been a member of student government for quite a while. Student leadership is something that I'm really, really passionate about. I believe that young people have the ability and the passion and the energy to make a difference. My definition of leadership, I always refer and go back to servant leadership. And I say that because leadership is about selflessness. And when you are a leader, you have to put yourself aside so that you can serve others.
Hey, I'm George Selby, Cowboys player. Well, my definition of leadership would be leading by example. I have never been a guy that spoke much, so I always led by example. And with that, I never spoke much, but I always ended up being a captain of the football team and stuff like that. I always been one of the best players on the football team. But like I said, I led by example. I wasn't a hurrah guy, but when I had to speak, I spoke. And with that, I think that's always a good sign of a leader, that you're going to do the right things for your team and your business. And in my business, if you're doing good and you're leading by example, your business is going to be good and you're going to get paid. So, and that's what I think about leadership right there.
Hey guys, most of you know me because you just attended my fall conference. My name is Serena Moss. I attend Tarrant County College. I love doing leadership roles. I work in our student activities. I am in multiple clubs. I feel like the only way you can be a good leader is if you're hands-on and you're involved, and you, like Chris said, you have to sometimes put yourself aside. Like when you know you should go home and sleep, but you stay up till 3 a.m. working on decorations and everything to make sure a conference goes great. Like sometimes you just have to step aside and do what needs to be done, and so that's why I think that's what I think leadership is. And I also think that businesses are looking for young people who can become leaders and who can lead in their companies. So I really like that we're getting this opportunity.
Dr. Adamas, I'm the new president of El Central College. I recall when I was in undergraduate school, my first semester at Seton Hall University, there were a group of about maybe 12 Hispanic and African American students that arrived to an institution that was predominantly not minority. But we formed a student organization called Adelante, the first Hispanic student organization at that time, and I became its president, its first president. And some 30, 35 years later, that organization still exists. It exists because it had a meaning and it had a purpose and it was substantive, it was something that was needed at that time. That was really a formative experience for me that has guided me in my beliefs in leadership throughout my professional career in higher education. There are 5 principles that have always guided my beliefs as it concerns leadership. One of them is understanding self, and that is you have to have core values. If you do not have core values, the second person that comes through your office, you will agree with whatever opinion that person has, unless you have a real system of core values. That means that you have integrity, that you focus on students, that you have high expectation of yourself and others, that you value teaching and learning. That it's not about the I, it's about the we. And that's often what I say when I speak. I talk about we, because as president there are lots of people that report to me, but ultimately it's not about I, because I can't do it all, it's about the we. And I think that's a really major principle in higher education and leadership. You understand, you have to also understand human nature. You have to work with others.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is H.K. Edward Papa. I was born and raised in Nigeria and I came to the US in late 1980. chief at the age of 21. My grandfather before then was one of the early cult interpreters for the British colonial war. So I have seen leadership from my family perspective. You know, what do you do in such a position? And then when I was in Nigeria, I went to all boarding school, except for elementary school. So in college, in high school, I was a house captain. And then in college, I was a student union. And then I came to America. In less than 8 years of becoming a citizen, I ran for mayor of Dallas, the first naturalized citizen to run for mayor of a major city in America in less than 8 years. And why did I do that? When I was told nobody's going to vote for you, and I said, well, I will vote for myself. That's an American. If at the end of the exercise I get a 0 vote, then I don't believe in the system. But then I got what I vote. So what is leadership? Leadership is also affected based on the culture and the geography. So if you grew up in Nigeria, it's a different sort of leadership. It's a hierarchy. Whatever your father tells you is what you do. Then you come to America, everybody evolves out from various. So you have to be able to balance, recognize the limitation that most of the definition that we are exposed to in the US is not universal. But I give you a classic definition of leadership. Is the ability to lead with or without authority. And here's how I define those: authority with or without it.
Good afternoon. My name is Robin Hutchison Gordon, and I actually fell into leadership by accident. I come from a family of 10, and I'm right in the middle. And I figured out early, if you don't take a deep breath, step up and say what it is that you need, want, or want to change, it's not going to happen. And the other part of falling into leadership was volunteerism. I basically, especially in Dallas, came into leadership through my volunteer projects and passions. I'm a graduate of Leadership Dallas, Leadership North Texas, AmeriCorps. That's basically the first thing that I did when I came to Dallas, because I didn't know a lot of people or know about the city. And I joined AmeriCorps and basically got pushed into a leadership position because I had a strong opinion about parenting and what's developmentally appropriate for children. And through those passions and through that volunteerism and through the ability to take that deep breath and to step up and say something that needs to happen, leadership basically came and found me. It's not easy. You have something to say. Most of us do, but very few of us take that deep breath and make that statement. So don't be afraid to make that I statement, and then eventually, hopefully, if people understand what you're saying and believe in the cause that you're speaking of, it will become a we statement.
Good afternoon. I am LaWanna Barton, Chief of Staff for State Senator Royce West, a proud native of Dallas, Texas, a graduate of the Dallas Independent School District and the University of Texas at Austin. I was always short, okay? I didn't say I am now, I said I was short because I wore heels. But because I was shorter than everyone else, I always felt like I had to do something to stand out and to make my presence known. So I guess I was forced into leadership roles very early on. I was drill team captain, I was debate captain, I was in a lot of organizations and things like that in high school and throughout the city. I then went to the University of Texas at Austin, and like the president of El Centro created an organization at UT that still exists today that created the Multicultural Center. And I actually was on the president's council. And it's really funny because UT now at the president's office, there is a back door. Well, when I went to UT, there wasn't a back door. And the reason why he has a back door is because we were at the President's Council, and we're sitting and talking to him, and I'm right across from President Cunningham. And we leave the meeting, and the students had tried to talk to the administration about some things that they wanted on campus, and he wasn't listening. So, militant midget that I am, we had a sit-in in his office. So he comes out of his office, and all of these students are packed into his office, sitting down. He can't move, he can't go forward, he can't go backwards. So he has to listen to us. And then he looks at me and says, "LaWanda, you were just in a meeting sitting across the table from me." I said, "Yes, a leader will sit at any table that they need to make their presence known, but when they have to sit down and obstruct, they can do that as well." And that's what a leader is. A leader isn't always who people think you are, it's also who you think you are.
Good afternoon, my name is Seacom Richardson, and I'm the founder of Dallas Black Professionals Social Network. We're an organization about 2,500 members strong and growing, been in existence since 2010. My feeling on leadership, number one, is that you have to take responsibility and realize that you are in a role where you must have a certain character to the people that you are actually leading. If you're in a leadership role, you have people that are following you, so you need to make sure that you are taking the right appropriate actions and steps at all times and making sure that you're providing a good direction for them and leading them into the path that is necessary. The next time we talk about on leadership, I have to. The next part was that problem solving. I usually tell people that a good leader is a good problem solver. There are problems all over the world. If there's problems that exist in Durham, there's problems that exist in setting up this event. There's all sorts of problems all over the place that can be fixed. Not necessarily that they're bad, but there's always ways of improvement. A good leader is actually going to take initiative and fix some of those problems that they might see.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? You doing pretty good? Y'all have to bring a little more energy here. How y'all doing? Y'all should be really excited to be here today because you took the first step in pouring into yourself by showing up. So I need all of y'all to bring a little more energy and be a little more excited about being here. You got a great panel pouring into you today. And I just want to echo their sentiments. And let me first say, I am Keisha L. Allen. I'm a personal development trainer and facilitator. I spend my days pouring into people and serving others. And so when you talk about leadership, my panel here, you guys are awesome. Everybody said something spectacular in regards to leadership. You know, you talk about servant leadership. That's leadership, knowing how to serve, how to put yourself up on the back burner, how to sit down and be quiet and shut up sometimes and let other people do what they need to do and pour into them. So it's inspiration, it's influence, it's being able to pour into people, even sometimes when you're not talking. You know, so I heard some things here that, you know, a lot of times we talk about leadership from the standpoint of authority. And a lot of times that's not even where it's at. Sometimes it's in that quietness. I saw a young man walk in with his son or nephew or whomever it is. Leadership works on all levels. And it starts with I. And so I encourage each and every one of you, before you can lead anybody else, before you can pour into or be anything to anybody else, learn who you are. That's where leadership starts. I heard you mention purpose. We oftentimes forget about the purpose in the leadership. A lot of us do it just for the platform or just to stand up and say, hey, me. I'm the loudest. And sometimes it's not the loudest person that makes the most noise.
I asked Robert why you want to be on the panel. And you will be on the panel. The reason I say that I believe that all leaders are troublemakers because I believe that they need to challenge the system. And I believe they're an example for me. When I give people my background, and Robert also knows to say this, because I love Kansas City, and I represent the Kansas City Chiefs. But when I tell people, My first semester in college, got on the honor roll, started writing for the school newspaper. I transferred from Blank University and finished at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff and became political science president and argued with then Governor Clinton in a situation much like this. To make the AP rule, I was always challenging people. I did not like being a leader because leaders have to be responsible. They have to be responsible for themselves. They have to be an example. And I walked for a while to do what I wanted to do. But as my girlfriend says, I had a mouthpiece on. People listened to me. People liked what I wrote. They were inspired. And sometimes you can't throw away what God has given you. Sometimes things are destined. You have to accept what it is. You have to accept that burden. So some of you